Welcome to Calvinsgotgame. I'm Calvin.
I'm Lewis.
Hey, we want to give you a review of The Endless Land of Traders and Raiders by Joe Magic Game. The designer is Mark Haney. Am I saying that right? Yeah, Mark Haney. I want to say Henry, but it's Mark Haney.
Yeah.
So, we did a live playthrough, or we did a live playthrough, I guess it was. We were alive. We weren't dead play. We weren't zombies. So I want you to go check that out if you'd like to see how to play it. In Raiders and Traders, you are selecting actions, and what I like about the game is you get to, when you choose an action on the board, it's a group action.
Yes.
So I get to do it, Lewis gets to do it. Whoever's playing, this thing plays up to 5.
Yeah, 5.
So
1 to 5.
So you can play it solo, or you can play it with a group of 5. I like that in this game, that you get to choose an action, and then everyone else gets to do it. What do you think about that?
Well, on that, I like it. But also, if you can't do the action, you still have something to do.
Right.
Getting a resource, a common resource. So you just not seeing somebody, I'm going to do this action, and leave you nothing to do. You still at least get a resource you might need later on.
Yeah, if you can't do it, at least you get rewarded with something.
Yes.
And so you also can take the same action as a solo action, but you have to pay a resource to do that. So I like that if the action's already taken, you can still come back and do it another time if you so choose.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
On that note, you don't pay it back to the bank. You pay it onto the board,
right,
and leave it for someone else to collect, or you come back and collect it yourself. I believe.
So the gameplay is very slow starting off for resources, don't you think?
Yeah, it is a slow starter game.
Yeah, this is not a game to where you just get and feel like you're just overpowered. You have to work.
Yes.
You have to work for what you're getting. It's not like it's a hard game. You just have to really plan ahead to be able to get things that you want. And on the buildings and the recruits, they will disappear at some point, because you always take the last one, it goes away, and you move everything down. It gets a little cheaper or more expensive depending on how you want to look at it. What do you think about the markets out on the traveling board?
The markets are useful to collect stuff, but also that when the end of the round happens, the fortnight, and the person that triggers fortnight gets to choose what resources basically are given out on there.
Onto the main board to be collected later, if you take that action.
But if you have a market in an area and that resource shows up, you get to pick that item.
Yeah, and you'll get it if you have a market at that. If you have a market in the town you're at, and they have that resource, and if Lewis calls out, well, I'm going to take a cow, and that market if you have a market at the town that has a cow in it, you get one.
Yes. Now that I see as a little bit take that part of the game.
Sort of.
Yeah, it's a small part.
I did that to Lewis a few times in our play.
But it is you trying to get the resources you need to build to get the cards you need. So it is a little bit of take that, but also there's another part to the game that it also benefits in the long run.
And I like the rescuing part. You get to go fight a monster or somebody giving the town trouble. And you can get resources that way, which is great. Now, fighting is a little different.
Yes.
In this game. You would think you have to roll this dice if you don't have enough, and you think rolling higher would be better, but it's not. You have to roll lower than the amount of strength you have to be able to defeat the monster if you can't beat it outright. It's weird.
It is weird, and if you don't beat it, you lose a resource.
Right.
But there are cards that will make it one-sided.
Yeah.
There is cards that make it one-sided because the highest creature is a 4.
Right.
So as long as you can beat it, you have it, and that can be one-sided on there. And I see some folks gunning for that, which is okay, because there's different ways to gain points in this game. There is different ways to gain points in this game, and you see it as you play it. It's hard to give all the point ways.
You get points for buildings, from recruits, from monsters, and from gold coins you have left, basically.
But also, if somebody has a building, you can gain points from them.
You can. You can also build the same building somebody else has, which I like. I think that's pretty cool. You don't have to pay the main resources up top. You just pay the resources that are on the card, which are a little easier for you to do, but you won't get as many points.
Right.
So I think that's pretty decent. Go ahead.
And so try to focus on one thing is not really beneficial, I believe. I think it's you need to spread the points out, because I started the playthrough we did. I did very well.
Yeah, he was resource heavy, and this time I was resource heavy with getting things.
But I focused on defeating creatures a lot, and I was defeating creatures, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. I had to spread it out a little bit more on there.
And I think that, this thing has multiple paths to victory.
Yes.
I really do. And why I said that rolling the dice was a little weird on this one, usually when you're in games, you want to roll higher numbers. And in this one, you want to roll a lower number so that it's better for you with your strength. Not sure how that worked, what the thought process with that was, but it works. I like all the different resources are fine. It is hard to build buildings in this game. Very hard.
Yes.
So you have to really plan to do that, which I like. So what do you think about the components, Louis?
The components, I like the components are on the better half of component-wise.
Yeah.
Because the cards are solid. The cardboard they use for the tokens and the other items are good, solid cardboard. They will last. They're gonna last. But the little tokens, the resources are good.
Yeah.
On there, nothing wrong with the components at all. I like the board, player board, the map. It is nicely built, and that little gloss they have on it makes this thing slide a little bit easier on and off on that. And I like boards like that easily take stuff on and off. So component wise, it is way over. I think not way over, but better than in the middle.
Yeah. It's a little better than the middle. Yeah.
Yes.
Better than average.
Better. Better than average.
I like the board layout. The board is functional, and right at the top it tells you what you can do, what happens, even at the fortnight when you're doing fortnight, you're ending the day or the night, whatever you want to call it. It tells you step by step what to do on the board. So everything you need to know is printed pretty much on the board. There are some things you're going to have to look up in the rule book. It's not that confusing. The game is pretty simple once you get the concept. It looks overwhelming at first.
Yeah, it does.
With all the components and tokens that it has, but it is not. And the Fortnite board that you put the tokens on, or the tiles on, you have many of them. There's still some in the bag here. So it's going to be different every time you play the game. And I think that's a good mark for variety in the game. This game is I want to say worker placement, resource gathering, monster defeating, and I think it even says it on the front of the box. It's a trading, building, monster conquest board game. And I think it delivered on all counts of that.
Yeah, it did. One last thing about the components. The little trays.
Yeah, I don't know if the retail copy comes with those little trays. And I'm sure you want... I'm sorry, guys. You can see me up close. They come with these little trays. I don't know if the retail copies will come with that, but the copy that I was sent had those in it, and it was sealed, so I'm assuming they come in there.
Yeah, and I like that. There's something to keep those little things together instead of all the little bags.
All the little baggies, and then you got to find something to put them in or straggle them all over the
Yes.
table. And it comes with a nice little bag with the Joe Magic logo on it. Overall, what would you rate this game a 1 out of 10?
1 out of 10. I will rate it at least an 8. 8.
I'm going to come a little lower than Lewis. I'm going to say probably a 7. It's enjoyable. I like it. I don't think I'll be able to get my wife to play it a whole lot because it is very strategic and very, I'm not going to say dry, very slow at the beginning.
Yes.
And my wife likes to get a bunch of stuff and spend a bunch of stuff. And in this game, you really have to plan and get things. I do like how the first player gets you get your gold in a resource, common resources, but the second player gets another resource. He still gets his gold in a resource, and then he gets another one. And around the board, it gets even more. So it is interesting. The game is interesting with the trade aspect. I don't know. I found this game fun to play. Like I said, I rated it a 7.
I rated it an 8 because I think if you put 5, even though it's a lot to do, even with 5 players, the max is still probably going to go smoother. But I think if it's played with 3 players, there's going to be a little bit more interactive.
Well, it depends on how the player does with analysis paralysis. Because sometimes it can be a little rough. Lewis has some issues. No, I'm just kidding. Lewis is fine with it. But the analysis paralysis could get you because you're trying to decide, what do I need to go for?
Yes.
And it could be a little bit. But I think it says it's a 60 to 90 minutes, and I think we played it in about an hour. And 20 minutes or so, maybe. So it's right at that with 2 players, but I think it could even go faster depending on how fast you hit the Fortnite.
Yes.
Right? So as long as 3 spaces are full on the board of the team action, Fortnite can be chosen. So the game can go faster, or you can take your time, be more strategic, and try to get as many points as possible. But if you have somebody that's clearly ahead, they're going to probably want to try to hit that Fortnite really fast to keep you from getting stuff. So I think that might be an issue, but hopefully you don't play with people like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, that's our thoughts on Traders and Raiders. I think it's called the Endless Land Traders and Raiders from Joe Magic Games. Guys, I enjoyed the game. Go check it out if you think this might be something for you. Lewis liked it a little more than I did, but he liked it. So go check it out. Go see if you can find it if it interests you. Joe Magic Game puts out quite a few games. You might like some of the other games that he has. So with all that being said, Lewis, you have anything else to say?
Other than try it before you buy it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Every game that we talk about, try the game before you buy it, because what we think may be great, you may not like. There's a lot of games out there that people think are fabulous that are in the top 100 of BGG, and I don't like them. Mm-hmm. So try every game before you buy it. But I would give this game a recommendation to play. With all that being said, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell for notifications next time we put out a video. You'll know about it. And as I always say, get a board game to the table, spend time with your friends and family. Thanks for watching Calvin's Got Game.